We're talking today with David Proston, who is the chair of the Sierra Club of Anne Arundel County, and Diane Butler, who is a member of the Annapolis Environmental Commission. David and Diane, one of the issues that has gotten a lot of attention in Annapolis is the proposed development of a 110-acre aspect of at Crystal Springs. Mm-hmm. Could you tell our readers a little bit about what this proposed development is and what the concern that you have about it?
Sure. Something that would really help, I think, is if the folks could get a visual idea of what we're talking about. This is a map of the, a Google map showing this land as it exists today. It's essentially at the intersection of Forest Drive and Spa Road. It abuts what's known as Masque Farm, which is, some folks have seen it, there's an equestrian center there. So it's 110 acres, as Mike said, and it's heavily wooded, and there's essentially no development on it. This is what it stands today. In 2005 or 6, the owner of the property came to the city council and said, the land is currently in the county, we'd like it annexed into the city. She proposed a development that looks like this, and it's a little hard to make out, but basically it was a commercial area with some senior housing, but comprised largely of 3 to 5 acre, what were described as farmettes. And this was going to cover 110 acres. And the city council, seeing this, essentially said, sure, let's annex it. So that's where, this is what the city was anticipating at the time of the annexation. This never happened. And several years later, today, we have a plan that looks like this. This is Forest Drive here. Spa Road is over here. This is the horse farm I spoke to, and the middle school is over here. So what this is comprised of, instead of farmettes and a commercial center on Forest Drive, well, what we have here, and forgive me, I have to look at my notes because it's so comprehensive. What we have is, it's being promoted by the developer as a continuing care facility. And in fact, there is a continuing care facility located here, and that's down in this section. But in fact, what it really comes down to is there's 3 separate developments going into this area. In total, it'll include 362, a 6-story building, including 362 retirement suites or rooms for residences. It includes, 283 apartments or suites. There's going to be 3 apartment buildings of 20 acres, of 20 apartments each, 33 single-family duplex houses, a health center with 36 suites, and another large structure for dining and recreation. And this is all for the 62 or older age-restricted group. And I should say, nobody, to my knowledge, who's concerned about this development is suggesting that there's a problem with providing housing for continuing care seniors. But then along the portion of Forest Drive, there would be a 4-story inn and spa, which is unclear what it has to do with continuing care. It would have 80 rooms. This would be part of an additional 220,000 square feet of retail space, a cultural arts center if they can find somebody else, i.e. presumably the citizens, to pay for it. an amphitheater, yet another supermarket, which would make the fourth on Forest Drive, and an additional 40 apartments above all of this, and then another essentially development within the development, 130 townhomes that are not age restricted. So what we have in cumulatively is three developments on one big piece of land where they're going to tear down acres of trees. The development itself, the 110 acres, is 3 times the size of Parole Town Center. The footprint is 3 times the size. The amount of trees they're going to take down is, in fact, the size of Parole Town Center. So it's going to be a major environmental problem. There are wetlands in there that will be destroyed. This big building will sit right atop them. The trees are going to come down. Crab Creek is going to be threatened. The South River is going to be threatened. There are entire other issues about what's going to happen to traffic on Forest Drive, which is, everybody who lives anywhere near there knows what a mess that is. Plus, these unage-restricted townhomes are going to, bless their hearts, yield more children who need a place to go to school, and the schools are at capacity. So it's just a web of problems that the Sierra Club and all these other groups are concerned about, and which the Annapolis Environmental Commission has just been wonderful in digging out some of the details of this stuff. Without them, we wouldn't have anywhere near the kind of data we have and anywhere near the sense of the environmental threats posed by this.
Diane, the Annapolis Environmental Commission is a city board, is that correct?
That is correct.
So I just wanted to clarify that for our viewers in case people wondered what the commission was.
Oh, sure. No, that's a good question. We are appointed by the mayor and sworn in by city council, and it's a wonderful group of volunteers. I've enjoyed it immensely. I've learned a lot. We have people that are science-oriented. Mm-hmm. We have people that are communications experts, and then we have, I'm a lawyer by background. So it's a really good group of people working together hard on issues that are fundamental to the environmental issues that impact our city. And before I say anything, even though I am an environmental commissioner, I really am representing Diane Butler here today as a resident of the city. Okay. Just so I can say that.
All right. What would you like to see Diane, David, public officials do about this proposed development?
Well, speaking, if I may, for the environmental community, that sounds awfully grand. Let's say that we've met with a lot of folks concerned about environmental issues, and there's no set plan saying you must do this. The Sierra Club doesn't endorse developments even of a birdhouse. I mean, if some guy, came to us and said, I'd like you to endorse the birdhouse I've got on 50 acres, say, well, that's not what we do. What we do is do what we can to point out problems that need be addressed. And the problems we've seen here are just too massive a project on too delicate a land. A solution that many have spoken of, which seems to make sense, would be just move this development, either all the components of it or those components that make sense, which would include some continuing care assistance. Yeah, Diane's holding up a sketch there that shows a suggestion. Move stuff closer to Forest Drive. Frankly, do we need another 140 townhouses with garages, dumping more traffic into Forest Drive? But move the continuing care stuff, and if they want more commercial, keep that on Forest Drive, and basically protect the bottom 2/3 of this land, which is in fact what the comprehensive plan calls for. It says you can have, essentially the comprehensive plan says you can have the construction, you can have commercial along Forest Drive, and you can have some clustered housing lower down on the property, but few people I've met consider a 6-story building with a 3-story underground parking garage as clustered housing. So we're essentially saying just either don't build it at all, which is the ideal, and there are folks who hold that view, and I certainly don't not endorse the view that this should be just left open space. It is a private property. These folks do have the legal right to develop it, but they have the right to develop it within certain parameters, and we think those parameters are being blown out.
Yeah, and I would like to chime in that this is, in fact, a copy of the city's comprehensive plan, which you can find on the website. And it does, in fact, talk about the high-density building being at the northern section, or northern part of the property, which is closest to Forest Drive. And that makes a lot of sense. And then, as David said, there's clustered residential, preserving the forested character for the lower 2/3. And I think, as David mentioned earlier, when this parcel was annexed into the property, or into the city, the property owner said that this would be clustered residential, and that's what the little farmettes showed. And so I think that's what the city anticipated. So everyone's shocked that they could call a 6-story building with 3 layers of underground parking, that's really institutional, clustered residential parking, and the developer has put that in his current site design plan right in the middle of the most sensitive area of the site, which is some non-tidal wetlands. So while we agree on many issues, I would have to say that the concept that this shouldn't be developed at all is fundamentally, it's one of our fundamental differences. You know, I think that it should be developed at some level, and there, you know, the comprehensive plan calls for this kind of development, but it really does call for the it's called urban low center, kind of the high density retail commercial space to be built right up in the front of the property and not all the way through the property. And as you can see from the current site plan, it's absolutely, this site plan shows that it's built in such a way that, you know, everything is completely you know, covered, and the forest is fragmented. And there's really valuable forest. Do we have a better picture of this?
There have been so many plans and so many sketches. It's the forest is home to, the Bird Club says that they've seen over the years 220 species of birds in there.
And it connects to, Crab Creek is down here. And so there's contiguous forest that goes, well, right now, without the buildings on it, completely it surrounds Crab Creek, and that's important for wildlife corridors and for, as David said, the birds, but also because of the benefits to the city. And there's a science that's developed called ecosystem services that talks about what value a forest has for a city. And as you know, there's forest benefits to water quality in that it slows down and filters the water as it goes into Crab Creek. It obviously helps with air quality and carbon sequestration. So all of these things, if you look at and value in total for the city of Annapolis, if you look at the ecosystem services numbers, and we were able to obtain some numbers from some of the amazing experts in this area that live in Annapolis and that work in Annapolis, folks like the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, the Pinchot Institute, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, they've taken the time to look at what this forest is value, how much value this brings economically to the city. And it's well over $5 million in carbon sequestration, water quality, air quality. That doesn't even include quality of life, but the habitat and biodiversity. So there's $5 million that's not even being incorporated into any analysis that has been done by the developers to date. And you know, the AEC and well, me personally feel that that should be considered in what we decide as a city to do with this property. But certainly sticking with the comprehensive plan and building as the comprehensive plan suggests, which is putting the high density retail, commercial, and you know, continuing care facility in the northern part of the property, would solve a lot of the problems, because it would allow for growth and it would allow for the contiguous forest that surrounds Crab Creek to remain intact.
David, If our viewers are interested in learning more about the Anne Arundel County chapter of the Sierra Club and some of the programs that you offer and the issues in which you're involved, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, we have a website.
Okay, what is it?
And the simple one is sierraclub.org. And if you go, that's the national website, and there's a place right on the opening page where it says Go Local, and you click on Maryland, and then Maryland shows the groups, and you click on the Anne Arundel group. And if you're interested in learning more about this, there is a Facebook page called Smart Growth Annapolis. And on the Sierra Club website, in fact, there is a petition to the mayor and other elected officials, which in fact has already been signed by 2,500 people who have sent our political leaders, much to some of their dismay, 2,500 emails saying, please reconsider what's happening at Crystal Spring and get it under control.
Thank you for viewing our program today, and please join us again on Annapolis Mosaics. If you would like to have more information about the Annapolis Human Relations Commission, you can simply jot down the information that's on your screen. You can reach us at 410-263-7998 or by email at hrcommission@annapolis.gov. Or you can check out our page at the City of Annapolis website. Go to www.annapolis.gov, click on the Boards and Commissions icon at the home page, and then you can scroll down to the Human Relations Commission page. And always remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "We have flown the air like birds and swum the seas like fishes, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth as brothers and sisters."